A decree appointing Dr. Wael al-Halqi as Prime Minister. Armed forces inflict heavy losses on terrorists in Aleppo, Hama and al-Halqi and kill large numbers of them. Egyptian army continues chasing terrorists in Sinai Peninsula and clashes with gunmen in Al-Arish. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our news for today. President Bashar al-Assad today issued decree number 298 appointing Dr. Wael al-Halqi as Prime Minister. Dr. Halqi was born in Dara in 1964. He got a bachelor's degree in medicine from Damascus University in 1987 and a master's degree in gynecology and obstetrics from Damascus University in 1991. He occupied the post of Director of Initial Healthcare in the city of Jassim between 1997 and 2000. He was the Ba'ath Arab Socialist Party Dara branch secretary between 2000 and 2004 and head of the Doctors Association in Syria in 2010. He was appointed Minister of Health in the current and previous governments. He is married and has 4 children, a daughter and 3 sons. With the participation of 30 states, the Tehran Consultative Meeting on the crisis in Syria opened in the Iranian capital today with a view of rejecting violence and supporting national dialogue. In his word at the opening session, Iranian Foreign Minister Ali Akbar Salehi affirmed his country's call for peaceful political options in order to restore calm to Syria and conduct reforms. Salehi denounced the international economic sanctions imposed on Syria, which would flare up the situation in the country. Salehi stressed that the only way to solve the crisis in Syria is through serious comprehensive dialogue. He added that Tehran was ready to host a meeting between the Syrian government and the opposition to reach a political solution, and this requires from all parties to have the will to start dialogue. Salehi said such dialogue is obstructed by the armed terrorist groups who are persistent through foreign support in their crimes against the Syrian people, whether civilians or military, and against the state establishments. Our armed forces have conducted typical and qualitative operations in several neighborhoods in Aleppo, chasing terrorists and inflicting heavy losses on them.
In Aleppo, our army, in cooperation with competent authorities, continues to purge Aleppo quarters of fleeing terrorists. Army units intercepted an armed terrorist group in Bustan al-Basha, killing a large number of them. Some bodies of the mercenary terrorists were identified, the majority of whom were Libyan and Yemeni nationals, and others carried the Afghani nationality. Army units also launched a sweeping offensive on armed groups in Hreitan in Aleppo suburbs, killing or wounding a large number of them. The army chased terrorists in Maysar and Hanano districts, killing or wounding a large number of them. An army unit also hunted down a terrorist group which used a house in Khan el-Wazir as a base for their operations against citizens. All the members of the group were killed. Also in Aleppo, the authorities clashed with an armed terrorist group near Dawar al-Shifa in Halab al-Jadida neighborhood, inflicting on them huge losses. Several terrorists were killed or wounded. The authorities continue to chase armed terrorist groups in Bab al-Nerab to purge Saladin neighborhood of fleeing terrorists. Army units also entered Bab al-Nasr, Saba Bahrat, Bab Hnain, Bab al-Hadid, and commercial sites in Aleppo. According to our news correspondents, citizens in those neighborhoods welcomed the army presence and expressed support for the soldiers who came to purge the quarters from terrorists.
In Hama, the authorities have chased an armed terrorist group which tried to attack law enforcement troops in Al-Karkat, near east of Al-Madiq Castle, inflicting on them heavy losses. Among the terrorists killed, Ahmad Rafat al-Hassan and Hussein Shayesh al-Ajam, who were identified. Our news reporter pointed out that in cooperation with the local residents and al-Hasaka competent authorities captured a number of terrorists in Ghouidan, Koshar, and confiscated large quantities of weapons, including RPG launchers, explosive devices, computers, and modern communication equipment. Border guards have foiled an attempt by an armed terrorist group to infiltrate from Lebanon into Syria through Nora-Side and Al-Halqi suburbs and Homs. The clashes resulted in scoring direct hits on the terrorists, some of whom fled back into Lebanese territories. The authorities also intercepted armed terrorist groups in Al-Halqi who tried to attack law enforcement troops in the city, inflicting on them heavy losses. The director of protocol at the presidential palace, Muselmania, has dismissed as untrue news about his alleged defection in an interview with the Syrian TV. The fabricated news was circulated by some Arab and Western news media. Mr. Muselmania stressed that he is performing his duties as normal in his office and that he had taken a trip to Lebanon for medical purposes. Iraqi Prime Minister Noor al-Maliki renewed his country's stress on the need for finding a political solution to the crisis in Syria. During his talks with Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, Saeed Jalili, al-Maliki stressed Iraq's support for any effort that helps achieve goals of the Syrian people peacefully through dialogue and understanding, which avoids more tragedies in Syria and preserves security and stability in the region. In Egypt, units of Egyptian police clashed with gunmen north of Sinai Peninsula after armed extremists opened fire at a police station in an Irish city. This new development comes one day after Egyptian military jets attacked positions of terrorists in some areas following the killing of 16 Egyptian soldiers. Meanwhile, security sources reported that Egyptian armed forces closed and destroyed a number of tunnels along the borders with Gaza Strip used for smuggling. With this, we end our news bulletin for today. For more information about Syria and the region, you can visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Up next, the latest business.